You know, there was a great song that was written in 1971 by Barry and Robin Gibb, How Do You Mend a Broken Heart? It's been recorded by the Bee Gees, by Michael Bublé, by Al Green. It's a great song. And you know what? Stay tuned because our guest today, she knows a lot about how to mend a broken heart. So stay tuned to watch. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Scan FYI. Andrea, it's great to see everyone today. We're still doing red because, you know, it's February. It's the month of red. Right. So, Mary Beth, good morning.
Good morning, Andrea. Yes, we're dressed in red, Heart Health Month. And good morning, JoAnn Fernicola, who's our guest today from Mended Heart. How are you, JoAnn?
Fine, thank you. Thank you for having me today.
JoAnn, also in red, we take notice of that.
Yes. So JoAnn, tell us a little bit about Mended Heart, how you came to Mended Heart. You have a lot to tell us about today.
Yes, I do. I am the president of Mended Hearts, Chapter 179, which is located outside of the Jersey Shore University Medical Center. And how I came to
Neptune, New Jersey. We want to add that for those listening.
Okay, yes. How I came about, back in 2017, I had congestive heart failure. And I was in Riverview Hospital, and I was very fortunate. A volunteer from Mended Hearts came to see me, and I was taken away by how much that volunteer knew about what I was going through. And it was very interesting because I did not believe that I was having heart failure. And then I had a heart attack because my symptoms were not the ordinary symptoms. I thought I had indigestion with bronchitis. I thought the humidity was causing me to have difficulty breathing. I just did not believe it. And when I called 911, they told me I was in heart failure. And I said, I don't think so.
Really?
You know, and this was going on for quite a while, and I just refused to stop or do anything about it. And finally, I took a very hot shower and I couldn't breathe in the shower. And then I said, okay, I live alone. So I called 911, and they were there within moments and off to the hospital. And my Mended Hearts visitor explained to me women go through very, very different symptoms than men do. And especially as we're aging, it happens more with women than it does with men. And they explained to me what I was going to go through and all the steps, and they gave me a number to call, and I was taken in. And next moment, a couple of months later, I was in cardiac rehab, and cardiac rehab at Riverview also has Mended Hearts there. And I went to the support meetings. I spoke with other members and other women, and we all are in this together. We all have the same issues. I thought I was going through depression, and why me? And it was explained to me, this is typical because this is unknown. We don't know what we're going to experience. I've had surgeries, you know, appendix out, and you know, once that's removed, you're fine. But you learn different health issues that can occur. You learn about eating, and you learn how important exercise is. And that's how I came to SCAN. Because I knew.
Full circle moment.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. With your health programs, your exercise programs, and which is very important for heart patients.
Well, you know what? Let me take a second to throw out a statistic to remind everyone that heart disease remains to be still to this day the #1 cause of death for women, not to mention in general heart disease. And it does present typically differently for women. So if you have like JoAnn said, she thought she might have had this, or she thought she might have had that. We go into that moment of denial, but if you suspect anything, you should call 911 immediately. Do not wait.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Heart disease is our number one killer. And it's very, and even if you have just high blood pressure, that's still considered coronary artery disease. And you really need to take it serious. We started Mended Hearts back in 1950, back in Texas. They were 4 heart patients that were just sitting around talking and saying in the hospital, gee, I had this, I have that. And it led to 70 years later, Mended Hearts with chapters national, and now we're internationally
You're
known.
international.
Yes, we're making our little stepping stone. And we also have what we call Mended Little Hearts for children with heart disease, either born with it, genetics. So we're out there, and we give as much support as possible, and we're all members of, we're either caregivers, we're either heart patients, or we're a professional in the medical field. And we also like to stay in touch with our cardiac doctors and nurses, because they're also getting the word out about Mended Hearts and support.
So we do want to say that Mended Hearts is a national nonprofit organization. Their headquarters is in Albany, Georgia, but chapters obviously all around the world.
Yes.
And so in our immediate area, we're lucky that we have one at Hackett. What is the name now?
Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore University Medical Center.
In Neptune. And I do want to remind everyone listening is that I will put all the contact info. There is a Heartline call center, Mended Hearts directly, their website. We'll put all of that. We'll post it in our Facebook listing, so you don't have to worry about memorize anything. But obviously, there's a lot of wonderful volunteer opportunities here as well, JoAnn.
Yes. Yes, there are. You can become a volunteer. You can contact National, or you can contact our chapter out of Jersey Shore University Hospital, and they will direct you and what's to be done. During this pandemic, unfortunately, we do not visit patients. We are not in the hospital. We're not in rehabs, other than for our own self-being, but we are not visiting. We're doing it all virtually right now. And if you go to our website, Mended Hearts has a listing of chat rooms so that you can speak with other patients. We list also our up and coming webinars that we're having. We just did one with how to take care of ourselves during the pandemic. And that was in the beginning of February. And it's very important that we continue to visit with our healthcare providers during this time.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. Yeah. A lot of, I hope that by now people have stopped neglecting their doctor visits. I know we're a year into this, right? But yeah, if you have to go to the doctor, you have to go to the doctor. Why is it especially important to have support for heart patients?
We go through many different degrees of recovery. I know for myself, after I was out of the hospital, I had depression, which is very common because it's why me. I thought I lived a pretty good life health-wise, but genetics plays into everyone, every different way. If you're a caregiver, or if you or a parent and have small children that have heart disease, you need to speak to someone very similar. Okay, it's like when we have headaches, we like to speak to someone that experiences headaches. The same thing with heart disease. we need to make it more known that there is support out there, and it's wise to have a partner that you can speak to, and that's why we like to give support. Also, exercising is very important. If you never exercised before, now just take a few more steps. Get a partner to do it with you. You may want to call our helpline and say, where can I find someone or an organization? I don't want to be a champion or an Olympic, but I do need to walk. We'll help you find that. And there might be a neighbor that you don't even know about.
Right.
Okay, so it's very important for us.
Well,
I was going to say, JoAnn, I'm sure there are a lot of people who think, oh, I don't need a support group, right? Do you come across that a lot?
Yes.
It's not for me. I don't need that. So
I
what
can
would
do
you
this on my own.
Yes. What would you say to someone who feels that way?
I would say we all need help. Just come and listen to us one time, because we want to make sure that everyone is taking their medication on time. We want to make sure everyone is eating properly, correctly on time. Don't skip your meals. If you're a diabetic, you still need support, because that's part of healthcare. It's important to speak to other people with similar
Right.
health issues as with you, and just give us one chance. And I'm most sure you'll be back for more.
Yes.
Well, I want to also
welcome.
mention that key risk factors for heart disease, and this has always been this way: high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and smoking.
Yes.
3 big ones right there.
Diabetes. Diabetes is also another
That's
huge
right. That's right.
factor.
That's
And
right.
genetics plays a very important role in our lives, also with heart disease.
But what about lifestyle? I know we can't beat our genetics, obviously, but it always sounds like one of the big lessons is that we can make changes in our lifestyle and
Yes.
maybe lessen our chance of bad things happening.
Yes, we certainly can. If we're smoking, let's stop. If we're not eating or trying to follow a healthy diet, maybe a Mediterranean diet, try it. Or you want to try a plant-based diet, try it. But don't do it all at once. Change our lifestyle gradually.
Gradually.
Introduce, say, just Mondays, a meat-free day. One Monday a month. And then the next month, try something else. Little steps.
Yes.
And it's good to just try a little bit at a time, instead of saying, okay, tomorrow I'm going to be a vegetarian.
But amazingly in life, we have to laugh because we know that that's human nature. Tomorrow it will change.
A long time.
I'll never eat another cookie. I'll never do that.
When the clock strikes 12, it starts.
No. Gradual changes, baby steps, big results.
Yes.
Obviously.
Absolutely.
That's still
Look
true no
around the
matter what.
block. Yeah. A little bit at a time for our changes.
So everything is virtual now. The support groups are virtual. And if somebody was interested in being a volunteer, reaching out to do something like that, would they call Mended Hearts directly?
Yes, they would.
Okay.
And you would tell them what area you're in, and they will direct you to a chapter in your local area. And we will speak with you, and we'll tell you how to go about training to be a volunteer. And at this time, our one-on-one support is only virtual or telephone or perhaps email. So you want to be able to go with whatever the other patient might want.
Well, makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
JoAnn, for you, what do you think has been the biggest change for you since participating in Mended Hearts?
Being aware on how healthy it means to be alive. Having my heart failure was a new beginning for me.
Right.
And yeah, I cut down on my coffee, even though this is my only cup of the day. I drink the rest of the day all water. Changing lifestyles a little bit at a time, exercising a little bit at a time, just making those changes and being in touch all the time with other patients and hearing what they're going through and or facing has helped me also. It's not all about me. I'm learning every bit from everything that I can and learning from other people also.
So we don't have to go it alone. That's an important
No.
message.
No.
Okay. Wow, really very, very interesting. I had not been familiar with Mended Hearts. I read so much about it. Clearly, it's an awesome organization. And I encourage our listeners, to reach out, and maybe for you, maybe for a family member. It's American Heart Month. This is the time every day we need to take care of our hearts, right?
Yes.
But this
Yes.
is the month that we raise awareness. So JoAnn of Mended Hearts, thank you so much for being our guest today.
Thank you for having me.
Our
Be
pleasure.
well, be safe, everyone.
So remember, if it's important to you, it's important to us. I'm Andrea Tarr, and we'll see you next week on Scan FYI. Bye, everyone. Bye, Mary Beth.
Bye. Bye.